Uh,
All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. So welcome in everyone that we have here for our Juneteenth celebration 2024 in Cuba. We will be going over major details to inform you so that you can make a wonderful decision to join us on this trip going into next year. Next slide, please. So I'm here, our team from the Melanin Day School Academy, as well as Agri-Hood Farms, and we are with Queen Amina, and we will be going over what you need to know, why we're taking this trip, when and where is this trip, how you can join us, and who, as well as our weekly check-ins, so you can get all the information that you need. Next slide, please. Oh, and one moment. Mama Azia, on your screen,
yes.
can you reduce the participants, move the participants? Click on, nope, sorry. Is anyone else, I just want to make sure, can anyone else see participants on her screen?
Okay, so, okay, got it. Okay. And so you want me to remove the participants?
Okay, maybe it's me and not you.
Okay.
Can anyone, I need someone else on the mic. Can you see a list of participants on your screen?
I can see
yes, I can.
Of the people. Yes.
Okay.
Have you tried to move your screen over? Because you should still be able to see the people if you move over to the next page. Like take your finger, slide over, or click.
Yeah, I think it's my screen and not y'all. So you're good, Mama Azia.
All right.
You're just fine. So we are at our what? So what is this trip all about? I'm going to pass it over to Queen Amina.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for coming to our first in a series of orientation to prepare family and community for a trip to Cuba. As stated at the top of the program, this is a Juneteenth celebration with a Black space healing. And the reason we're having this trip is because our community, us, Black people, have experienced so much trauma in the past 5 to 6 years, and especially during the pandemic. And the reason we're going to Cuba and having this Juneteenth celebration is to heal, to have those conversations, and to learn some resiliency skills. So when we come back to the United States of America, we can hit the ground running and thrive into the next generations and into the next century. Next screen, please. Here you see some of the culture we will experience. This is a cultural exchange, and especially for our young people and the hip hop generation, it is so key and crucial that we do a learning and cultural exchange, have a fusion, and understand the parallels between the civil rights movement in the United States and the civil rights movement in the Caribbean and all around the diaspora, the African diaspora. And that is the where and the why. Again, the why is so that we can explore the African diaspora and the cultural resiliency of the Afro-Cubans, because remember, they're up under embargo. They have nothing but original rocks and original dirt that the Creator gave them. And that's what that is what they're living off of. Literally, that is what they're living off of. Next slide, please. So please tell me, those that are here on the line that joined our orientation, and again, thank you for joining, but would you please share with us why you want to go to Cuba? Can we see, or would you please, in the reactions button, raise your hand? And Mama Azia, Bernadette is on hold in the waiting room.
Okay, I have to go. Okay.
Can we participate?
Do I have to make you host, Nakia, to let people in?
I got you. I can help.
Okay.
I got it.
So I'm looking for raised hands.
So we have Ayana Forbes, who would like to be.
Mute your other device, Ayana. Thank you, dear. Why would you and your family like to go to Cuba? Please share.
Okay, we would like to go to Cuba to, one, to see brown people speaking Spanish. Two, to learn more about the Orishas and to see Orisha dancing. And three, just to connect with more brown people worldwide.
Thank you so much, Mama Ayana. Okay, who else do we have that can share out?
We have Keisha Jeffries.
Oh, Keisha, please share.
Okay, so the reason why I would love for me and my family to go to Cuba is for me is more of a spiritual journey. I do know that Cuba holds a lot of what is sacred to us as Black Americans that were brought here, and I know that there's a lot of history that's hidden within the Cuba culture.
All right.
So that is why I want to go to Cuba, really to connect spiritually.
Fantastic. And you are right on point. You and Mama. Okay, who else do we have to share?
Right now, we don't have any other hands, but I know a few just got in. So would anyone else like to share why they would like to come to Cuba?
Is Bernadette in?
Yes, she is.
Mama Bernadette, would you please share out why you would like to go to Cuba?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much for coming
Okay.
to the orientation. Please share.
Yeah, I wanted to go. I know someone just mentioned, I don't know who it was that mentioned, but that's a good point. The cultural aspect of it, to learn the connections between our Afro-Cuban ancestors. There's a lot of history between the two cultures, and I would like to for my children and for myself to learn about that. And even if just for me, myself to learn so I can share that with my children in our homeschooling as a history lesson as well, and just to know some roots. I think it'll be great, and try some different food and things like that.
On point. Thank you so much. That is one of the reasons we are going. And A White, I think that's my brother Andre. Is that my brother Andre? Please share. A White.
Well,
Would you
while he's
please share?
getting ready, I would like to say the reason why I would love to go back to Cuba is because it's magical. It is the most magical place I've ever been to, and I've been to so many places in the world. And it was one of my best experiences in dancing and spiritual experiences, dancing on an ocean, to live, intentional spiritual drumming and dancing and honoring the ancestors. I want to be able to connect with nature again and going into the forest and learning the ways that our ancestors have done it through the good and the ugly, and rough times. And so just getting back in touch with that somehow enables me with the time and space to just look within and be within and really be able to delve into who I am and all my ancestors and just activating all of those memories. And it's, so I'm looking forward to that kind of experience again. And actually, it grows every time and being enhanced. So, and the good food and the good people, the organic food, all that good stuff. So I can't wait. That's my sharing.
All right. That's so awesome, Mama Azia.
Yeah.
All right. And anyone else? Mama Datia, would you like to share? Or A. White? Is that my brother A. White or Vaughn? Hello, my brother Vaughn.
If not, that's okay. We'll give another opportunity to.
Yes.
They may be still thinking. Let's go ahead and continue on with the slides.
All right.
So we have a quick video here. Thank you so much, Mama Roz, aka Queen Amina, for your beautiful share. We have a brief video here. We're not going to be playing any audio, but just to give you all a visual of some of the movement and our partners in this particular immersive field trip and exploration of culture and dance and history. And they are a powerful group led by Miguelito. And we have many other videos to share with you all as well. And those that are on the line, you already have some type of, feeling and essence and connection of why we're going to take this trip. So just as we go through and understanding that we are building in community, that there is a great tie that we've been able to hold on through our music, right, and our cultural practices in order to continue to heal and thrive. And so just a brief video that we wanted to share, and we'll share this in the link as well for other resources so you can see more of those that we will be working with on the grounds when we're in Cuba next year. Next slide, please.
Our dance our dance teachers and our drum teachers.
Woo!
And so much more. Okay. Oh, so let me do.
Awesome. So when and where? Mama, do you want to take these two?
Okay, so when June 13th through the 20th, 2024, 6 days, 5 nights, travel days 13 and 20th. So, depending on, different people have different travel dates, but, some people have to start on the 12th to get there by the 13th. And so we want to make sure that we're there and ready to go by Friday, which is the 14th. That's the first day of programming. And the last day of programming is actually Wednesday, Juneteenth the 19th. And so traveling back either that evening or the next day, which is the 20th. So that's why we have those dates in there. And now the where. The where, of course, is Cuba, Havana, Cuba, which we'll be flying into the main city there. And you can write, let me see. Okay. And so that's pretty much it. Does anyone else want to add anything about that?
No, ma'am.
I think we're really clear. So it's a very short flight from Miami. I think an hour is just really close. I was just really amazed the last time that I went. It was very, very close. But yet Cuba seems so far, especially in our programming through schools or what have you. You just think it's some really far place and untouchable place, but it's not. It's very next door. And so hopefully everyone will be able to get a chance to visit with us. So now for the program itinerary.
Yes.
The how.
Nope, go back one, Mama Azia.
Okay.
2 for our program itinerary, and I'm gonna go ahead and share screen here. Okay. Tag Mama Azia. I'm ready to share screen.
Oh, that's right. Okay. One moment. I have to get out of here. Back there. And where is it? Oh, there it is.
There we go. Beautiful. So thank you all again. I know with all the interest in all of the persistence too, for those that were wanting to go last year, but we knew it wasn't enough time. Now we have over 8 months of planning for this to really support our families with going. So I'm just briefly going to go through some of the things that we have on our schedule for those main days of the 14th through the 19th, so you can get an idea. I'm not going to go line by line, but this itinerary will be shared with all of the participants that joined in today. So again, thank you for joining in, and here we go. So when everyone arrives, probably on that 13th, that there's no set programming on that day. When we talk about our program package, that is the 14th through the 19th, okay? So on the 14th, we're focusing on the children, right? And making them feel loved. And some people might say children, yeah, this is the whole family, right? The whole family coming to heal. And so as that being our focus, we'll be learning from Ababa Lau, Francisco Gordillo, different discussions about Santeria, visit the Calvidos, drum and dance workshops, Rumba celebration for our ancestors at La Marina on the first day, really kicking it off, to a great start. Going into our second day, we'll be focusing on the women, right? That feminine energy, that sacred female spirit, and having different African diaspora Cuba demonstrations, the orishas, right? And river ceremony and ocean ceremony, and really just tapping in this wonderful, sacred space. Going into our third day, we'll be focusing on that masculine energy, honoring our men, right? In Vanales Valley, where we have our cave tours, a ranch visit, horseback ride, songs to the earth, dinner at farmhouse, and it's just, again, going to be an amazing time. On the 17th, right, we have Juneteenth celebration here. We're actually going to have 2 throughout this program, so this will be the first one where we're focusing on the entire community. So we'll have our Africa tour, bringing in the Rumba Allstars again, that will be having an amazing celebration, y'all know, right? And Afro-Cuban storytelling by Miss Rolando is just going to be an amazing, amazing time. Really getting into our cultural exchange with some rap, some poetry, a little bit of everything, because y'all know that we are just dynamic people completely. So to be able to be embraced by it is going to be amazing. Following that up with an amazing dance workshops. So make sure y'all get y'all dancing shoes ready, clothing, and all of that, so you can be ready to experience something amazing. On the 18th will be our trip. Let me put that down there. Our trip to Guinness, the African slave settlements. So something important too, as everybody goes, is making sure that you have, notebooks, and we have some kits and things that we're working on too, because we're learning. It is an educational experience. And while you're going through all of these days, it's going to be amazing for you to be able to take notes so you can go back and align them with pictures, So just making sure that we're continuing to stay in focus as we're connecting and tapping in. We'll end that day at the Temple of Santa Barbara, Shango. On the 19th, the actual day of Juneteenth, which will be our last day collectively in Cuba, as a unity and a community where we're going to come together and just celebrate, share, you know, our learning so far, and really kicking this off as a new beginning going into returning back to the States. And so that is a summary of the itinerary we have planned for our 2024 Cuba trip. Do we have any questions? Specifically about the itinerary. Does it sound good? Let me get some thumbs up, some hands, some smiles, some shakes, or something on the side. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, thumbs up from Keisha. Got a heart from Ayana. Yes, and Vaughn. That's what I'm talking about. That's that good life. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Can I jump in?
Yes, ma'am. Please do.
About the journals and the diaries to take pictures, we are doing a video diary and history to bring back home so we can educate everyone else, and they will become on fire too. And we can really come into ourselves and practice the spirit of Sankofa. Sankofa, take from the past. We're going back to align and learn about the civil rights journeys that we both undertook, or we all undertook around the diaspora. Go back, get the history, bring it to the present. We are challenged. We are challenged to survive as a race. We need resiliency. So we need to take those lessons from our history, apply them to the current, present challenges that face us, and plot a new strategy for our future. That is Wakanda, and that's Sankofa 2020. You know, 2020 is perfect vision. So all we have to do is look in the rear view mirror and see what has happened to understand what is going on now and how we're going to deal with it tomorrow, the next day, next week in building Black Wall Street and our current and future generations of kings and queens. So the video diary is key. Everybody video. We will be putting that together and posting it on our website so that we take back our history, our culture. We are woke, and we refuse to let these people rewrite the history book and teach nonsense. Mama Roz is off her soapbox. Thank you so much for that.
You're all good. You're all good. So we're on to, so how do we make this happen? Malazi, if you share, and then Roz, if you can just go through that. We have a checklist, and this checklist will be something that every Sunday we'll be checking in for 30 minutes to go over this, see where families are, see what help is needed, right? And that's going to be something that is going to set the trajectory, right, for how successful we are in this trip. There we go, Mama Azia. So passing it back over to you, Queen Amina, so how are people going to be able to go about and be prepared for this Cuba trip? Oh, you're muted. Come back, Mama Azia, in one slide. And Queen Amina, okay. You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. And that's all the slide, right. Mama Azia. You got it. You're doing great work.
All right, fantastic. The first thing we need to do is get our passports. Now, this is something we need to do whether we're going to Cuba or not, because family, you need to be prepared for whatever's going to go down, okay? And what that means is a birth certificate and a passport. A birth certificate on your babies and a passport babies as well as yourself. Be prepared for any eventuality, okay? So we're going to help you walk through that process. And the reason we are starting now is because that process can be time consuming. And depending on the number of people in your family, you have to repeat that process that many times for that many birth certificates and that many passports. The second thing we have to do, we're creating a budget. Get your airline tickets. So we will help facilitate that so we can all get there around the same time and take advantage of low-cost airline travel rates and fares. Get a visa. Everyone has to get their own visa, and we have to walk you through that because United States citizens and Israeli citizens can only go to Cuba on an educational visa or a people-to-people visa. So the United States brought the embargo. The Israelis supported, so we are prohibited by law from being tourists. The rest of the planet can come to Cuba on vacation, but we can't. So we have to get a visa. Cuba travel health insurance. We'll explore that and go through that. Anybody need anything, but I want you to know that the Cubans have more doctors per capita than anybody else in the world. Their College of Medicine, their University of Medicine is free. It is free. Everyone is trained, and the condition of your training and your education is that you go back to your respective communities or communities around the world and volunteer for a minimum of 3 years in the healthcare field and advancing the life, the length, the longevity, and the resiliency of people of melanin color around the planet. Okay. So vaccinations, you don't really need them unless COVID is here. Then we'll kick in the COVID protocol and we'll talk more about that. There are payment options. You need to put a deposit down so that we can ensure that we have the services and the programming that we want on the ground when we arrive. It's like doing business anywhere else on the planet. You got to put a deposit down and then make your payments. That's the best way to do it. So we will talk everybody through that, but this is how we're going to accomplish getting all of our families to Cuba for a Juneteenth celebration with the Black Space Healing. And within that programming, what I, Queen Amina, am working on are our staffs, our generational staffs. Each generation has a staff, and we pass those staffs to our children, to our grandchildren. They have to lead. We're going to be gone. I'm going to be gone. So I want to pass these staffs on to the next generations. I want to have our Kanaras there so that we understand what those 7 candles are for and why we light them. We want to go through the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. That's what we're doing. We're building resiliency. We are putting the narrative of our history in place for our children, because when they know who they are, nobody can take that away from them. And these are my seeds, and I'm going to make sure my seeds germinate and grow and thrive and reach for the sun. Next slide, please.
All right. So now we're into the cause. Thank you so much again, Queen Amina, for the details, for, you know, how we're going to get there. And again, like we mentioned, every Sunday we'll be walking this through so that if the others need assistance with getting their passport, maybe you don't know how to get your documents in or other things like that, we are here to help you through that process, right? So that you're prepared, because being prepared, right, allows you to enjoy your trip. So as we get into the cause, some of the things I want to talk about that are covered in this trip and that are not. So Mama Ozzy, if you can go back 1 slide, please. Okay, we were good. So you can go for it now. I was making sure we didn't miss anything. So just so you know, there are some things that are not included in this trip, and that is housing for any days earlier, right? Or nights earlier. So we plan on, on the 13th, people are flying in. If that is a day that you're gonna get there, that it may be additional, but the cost for housing is not that much, right? It ranges from $45 to $75, depending on how many rooms you have, right? A night. So you just want to play it by ear based on when you get your tickets. If you're going to get there before the main groups get there, there are accommodations. Just note that that's not the main part of the trip. Our core part is the 14th through the 19th, with travel days on the 13th and the 20th. Your international flight, right, is not included. So that means the prices that we're showing to you right now do not include your flights. Flights are looking really good right now, anywhere in between, depending on where you're coming from, $200 to $400 round trip. So we want to start tracking those things. Again, this will be things that we'll be talking about on Sundays. We have a lot of people that are really good at finding flights. So if you're not really good at finding flights, please make sure you're a part of those meetings so you can get support. We should all be sharing our best practices for finding the best tickets and when, so that we can ultimately, right, have the best price that fits us, but then optimally as well. The travel visa is another thing that's not included in the package prices that we'll be sharing. So again, we'll walk you through the process, but just know that'll be an expense outside of what we're doing. And I think we said the visas, and correct me if I'm wrong, Queen Amina, is around $100 or so for the visa.
Yeah,
That's at the gate. That's at the gate, at the airline gate. If we start early enough, we can get them at a reduced rate, but that means start something like 3 months in advance.
Very good. Very good. So, all right. So now it says what is included, and these are very, very important. So please focus in closely because the wording and language that we'll be using are based on these things that are included, right? So the educational program activities, which is that itinerary that we went on, those are the main things that we will be doing when we're in Cuba, which will satisfy our 40 hours, right, Queen Amina, of educational learning?
Yes, because
Okay.
we cannot be a tourist. We cannot come on vacation. We are coming to learn and have cultural exchange. And according to Cuban law, we need 40 hours of education. And that's wonderful because we coming to learn from our family.
Yes. Bless. So that's part of the program activities. There'll be 2 special meals that are set there. And that's important because on those particular days, a fee, for dinner, it won't be factored in. And then some of these things may vary because we have some families that may have dietary needs and may want to make their own foods. We have options for them as well. That way, you can see when you get there certain meals and the fees as far as your breakfast, your lunch, or your dinner. So, but there'll be 2 program meals that will be there specifically for our families. The Spanish and English translator, we'll have a translator, right, every day that we're there. And so that's something that is factored into the program costs already and is basically shared across all of us. Housing for 6 nights. And so we have the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and the 19th, right? And yeah, that's the main nights that we're there. So we ask anybody, as you're looking for your flights, you want to arrive, hopefully the night before, but if you do get on the 14th, know that that is the day that we're starting. And so we just want to make sure that you factor that in. Program transportation. And so we'll be driving to a good amount of places. You saw there was a lot of lists of different places we're going. We need to have a van. The vans that we have fit 10 people each. And so the vans, how they're going to be split is based on a family, you know, or individual person. So if it's 4 people in your family, you would pay the fee, right, for your entire family versus per person. And so that's a great way and great breakdown to keep the cost low. Airport arrival and departure transportation. So there will be someone there to pick you up, whether it's you and your family alone or just you. There will be a van, and that fee is also included in. And then we have a variety of meals that are a la carte. Again, like I said, families may choose to do different things, but there'll be foods available at the Airbnbs or the stay where we'll be located. All right. So let's get right into our breakdowns here. Azia, go to our next slide. And I'm going to share screen. Let me go ahead and get it together. How's everybody doing? Is everybody still doing well? You can all hear me well? Give me a thumbs up, heart, information.
Stop sharing?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so we have here, uh-oh. Can everyone still hear me? I'm trying to make sure that I'm not frozen here. Okay, thank you, Ayana and Vaughn. I appreciate the thumbs up in the celebration. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to talk about, I'm going to go right into it right now, are our program fees. So we've done a couple of things here, assuming we get more people. If we get 50 plus people, the packages, the program packages are significantly lower, okay? So what we've done is kind of put a couple of numbers together, especially for our families that are more than one person. And this way we're able to, you know, really have a grasp on what we're expected to pay. And why I'm starting with the program package right now, because that is the foundation of this trip. If you're able to take care of your program package, right, that's the biggest part there, right? We know you're going to stay, but this is the educational, the learning part. So I'm going to start here just looking at about 50 people. And these costs, you can ignore the cost per day here. What we're looking at, if we are able to get 50 people, the program cost is $169 per person. Okay, that's all of your, from June 14th to June 19th, all of those activities that were listed. And these are great prices, right, Mama Azia? We talked about.
Yes.
So 169 per person. That means we want to engage others, get them in, get them learning what's needed right now, right? And 169 for 50, 281 for 30, 20, you know, 422 for 20 people. Note, the less people we have, the more expensive it gets, right? But we want to keep these things in mind, because ultimately right now, and I'll have this date, but I want everybody to pull out their notebook if you don't already have it down, right? The first deposit that's due, which is half of the program package, which we're looking at right now, right, is half of this program package. So let's go down and do a better example of that. If you're a family of 5, like I am, and we are able to get 50 people in, right? Half of my program package due December 3rd would be $422. Okay? And then I have until May 5th to have the rest of the program package and the rest of the accommodation fees that we'll go over as well. Okay? I see some questions on the side. Roz, can we look at the questions and see, or questions or comments? Can you share those for me right now, please?
Sure. Let me go into the chat.
Beautiful.
Okay. The last comment I have is tell all friends and family.
Yes.
So Bernadette said yes to what? Ayana said, love that, love the idea of a check-in. Okay, thank you, Ayana. And then before that, we just have our welcome.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we're on right now. This is good. Okay, so these are the prices that we're here. Mama Azia, question?
Oh, this is Mama Roz. I would like for everyone to put some questions in. We need to develop our FAQs. We want to be professional, and we cannot be professional without your feedback. We don't know it all, but this is an ongoing trip that we have envisioned for every year. And we need to be more professional. We need to make it easier. We need to remove barriers of international travel so that our children know that there are no boundaries.
Yes.
So please share with us any questions you may have, even if you think it's foolish, silly, or that you already know the answer to. We may not have even thought of that question.
Good.
And even if we have, we haven't posted it. So please help us develop our FAQs so that we can have best practices.
Yes. And even if your questions come later, please do email, chat. Y'all know we have like 50 million text message groups, WhatsApp. Put it in any of those. Cuba, question. Okay. You can also email it to melanindayschoolacademy@gmail.com. Right? Subject line, Cuba FAQs, frequently asked questions, or help. Looks like we got a comment in.
Yes,
Mama
we do. Yes,
Okay.
we do. Mama Bernadette wants to know, will my vaccination exemption work in Cuba?
I didn't have to be vaccinated.
That's a question. When you said vaccination exemption, are you referring, Mama Bernadette, to COVID or all of the vaccinations? Baby vaccination.
Oh, sorry, I meant to write. Sorry, I meant to write all of the COVIDs because I had to have my note updated for every part of the COVID. You know, all the different forms of it. So I was wondering what I need to have it with me when we travel. If we travel, will it work there?
That's a number one question for our FAQs.
Beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
like Mama, I think like Mama Ozzy was saying the last time she went, it wasn't a requirement for her. But we do want to make sure that we stay on top of it and those exemptions and things like that, Bernadette, that we're on top of those and we can share those because we do have a variety of families, right, that need those options as well. So thank you for that question.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
All right, I'm gonna slide over to so that's our program package. And just asking everyone, I want everyone to kind of type in the chat. Remember our December 3rd, we need half of your program package. That's this here. Again, we'll share this information with you and I will help put together plans for each family that's interested in going. So it's easy to track this process for you. Okay.
I'd like to thank Von Johnson for his comment. $840 for the program, 2 meals, housing, and community. I would say I'm in. See you next Sunday. Even if 20 people go, I think I'm in. Thanks for the help with the paperwork in the timeline. Thank you so much, Von, for your comment.
Yes. Beautiful feedback, Vaughn. Thank you for that.
Yes, the price is incredible. Yeah, the price is really, really incredible. I've traveled a lot and we were able to get a really wonderful hookup for the Melanin Day School Academy and friends family. So this is definitely an opportunity you would want to take advantage of, especially if you want to travel to Cuba.
Yes.
Price
so
is off.
Right now, the next thing that I'm showing everybody is the accommodations, get into accommodations for housing. Okay, so again, we split that up. I'm gonna scroll down here for the 50, just to give you an idea. of what that price is per person, right? So the beds for 50 is at, whoops, look at my notes here, is $45 for a single bed, $60 for a double bed, and $70 for a triple bed. So just keeping in mind, we have multiple families. Some families can fit, if it's 4 of you, you can get 2 beds versus needing 4 beds, right? So again, this is where it may vary from one person to the next. And I'm here to help customize those plans for you all. And so you know what's going to be the best thing for you. So we didn't just put a blanket, form here because there's options. We don't know. Maybe you do want all of your children to have their own bed. That will be something that a one-on-one follow-up with me, and I'll follow up with you all to help in that process. All right. And then the last thing that I'm sorry, y'all. Started singing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. All right. I kind of started with this in the beginning. So back to our slides here, and I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger for you all. So again, we talked about airport pickup and drop off, right? That's $50. Really, it's $50 per van. Okay. So if you have a family of 5, you cover the cost of the van. Okay. If it's multiple people, right, and it's 5 people going, it's $50. That's just $10 per person, right? For the entire program transportation, right, each family is paying $150 for the entire time, right? These are, again, great prices going in for Cuba. So I would just give you an example as I have the numbers here. I'm a family of 5. My program package plus my housing plus my food, right? It comes out roughly to $449 per person. $449 per person. And then if you add in a ticket, a flight at its highest, we're looking at $849 per person. All right. So my goal for this with all of you is I will be working with you all to develop your specific package plan, what you need help with, and especially for our Melanin Day School families, we will be doing fundraising, especially we have our end of the year gala to support you in offloading some of these costs. It's not to take the whole thing off, but to support you because we want you to be able to go. And we also have some possible opportunities to support you even further. Okay, so just know that that is in plan for Melanin Day School members that have been, supporting this organization since its existence.
Question in the chat. Transportation included in the program costs, correct? That's from Ayana.
It's in the accommodations. Transportation is included in accommodations. So you see the program transportation fee there. So that initial deposit on the December 3rd, would not include any accommodations. Did that answer your question? Give me a thumbs up, Ayana.
Cookies.
Yes. Yes? No? Yay! Okay, awesome. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop sharing here. Right? And we also had it roughly, we said it's anywhere between 700 to 1,000 per person. That range, especially if your tickets or your food, right? That or your travel from where you're traveling from would be the difference there. Okay. All right. So we're almost at time here. As I mentioned, for the payment plans, before we were going to do Cash App and other things like that, we're not going to do that. We're going to put together custom plans for each of you that will list out the items, especially for the program package and the deposit, so you can have a cycle and pace yourself. If you are able to pay it off all at once, great. If you need a little bit of assistance and some accountability for the check-ins, great. We will be doing that as well. The invoices will be sent electronically. You can pay those, you know, via your card. There's PayPal options. There's so many different options, or you can pay through check. So we'll walk that through with you individually with your families, and the check-in meetings will be there to support that effort as well. All right, next slide. So who should go? Next slide, Mama Azia. If you don't know by now, you, right? So we're looking for 20 to 50 travelers. We want you to bring your family, your friends, your children for this experience, right? For this Black space healing experience. And all of you that are here, we already know that you are committed to keeping the culture rich, learning about it, exposing your children to it at young ages so they can really be the change agents and the leaders of the future, right? And empower you with the knowledge, right? That ancestral DNA download connections that we need to continue to be the best versions that we possibly can be. Next slide, please. Cuba, next slide. Juneteenth. So our weekly check-ins every Sunday. Right now, what we need you to do, we will send out a form. Some families have already done this, so we'll just do a follow-up where you'll, you know, sign up and say what you need, what type of accommodations, where are you, kind of help, right? So please save a note. All of those that have already registered, you will always have the link now, but the meetings will be every Sunday, 3:30 to 4 o'clock. It's short, just check-ins, getting people set up, getting their invoices set up, getting any help that you need, whether it's your passport. We'll be going through that checklist to make sure that you're on track. Make sure that you, if you're getting stuck, that you have the support that you need. So please do mark that on your calendars, save that time out so you can get that support, and we'll have a group, you know, to continue to help each other through this process. Next slide. And as we mentioned, for our Melanin Day School families, we'll be having these conversations in our all committees meeting, as well as in our WhatsApps for the fundraising efforts that will be coming up. So just stay tuned, stay connected, and you'll get more on that. Next slide. So we're at our last one. We want you to learn more, ask questions. Like Queen Amina said, we need those FAQs, frequently asked questions. Share that information with us. We have a survey here that we would love you all to take. We'll share this information with you because you all provided your email, so you have that. Any other additional questions? If you want to take a screenshot of this screen so you know where we are, what our telephone number is, as well as email, that is also available. And we have two, this one's shorter, mdsa.sac@gmail.com, but we also have the Melanin Day School Academy at gmail.com as well. So with that, we are at the end of our presentation, and I will open it up if anyone has any additional questions. Any questions in the chat?
I do have a question. This is Mama Ayana. So I just want to make sure I'm clear. There's the program package cost, there's the deposit cost, air ticket cost, passport cost, and visa cost. That's the 5 things.
Say
Am
it.
I correct?
I'll clarify. You have your program package,
Yeah,
which is all of the activities.
gotcha.
And then the accommodations package, which is what we'll cover, which is your meals, your housing, and transportation, right? What you will be responsible for will be your flights, your visa, passport, right? Those will be your things. So really for us, it's 2 primary things that we're splitting it off. The program, which is your activities, and then our accommodations for your food, housing, and transportation.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Last check. Any other last comments, questions, concerns? No?
Hi, I just want to update about the living salad bowls. I just wanted to show everyone what they'll be. The seeds will be in today, and tomorrow will be going in the ground. Can you see me on the screen? I want to
Yes,
show
we can.
what they look like. Do you remember? Do you still have some of these, Nakia? Remember, I brought some to you at the office. Do you still have some of these?
Yes, ma'am. No, I think the other farm, because we
Oh,
moved
okay. I'll
stuff.
just see it because I think I was thinking I had about 15 to 20, but I have more of these ones than these ones. I have more of these than this one.
Okay.
So this one is so I wanted Mama Roz to get the vision of it in her head too. So there's this one that hangs. They both hang on the fence, but this one hangs this way on the fence. These ones are the cutest to me. And then these are ones that it goes in between the fence right here.
And so just clarification and sharing with everyone, we talked about that we have some fundraising efforts for our Melanin scholars and our Melanin scholar families, and they'll be growing some edible planter pots, starter pots with wonderful salads and other amazing foods.
We're pushing out living salads, eat the rainbow.
Yeah,
so we're going to
sorry.
Embedded within the Melanin Day School program, we have a piece on agriculture and living foods. Living food is food that has not been separated from the mother plant, processed, refrigerated, or transported. It is directly from your backyard or your tabletop. Now, the living salad is just like a centerpiece, like a beautiful bouquet of flowers sitting in the center of your table. But it's salad, baby. It's salad. It's arugula. It's spring mix. It's chives. It's basil. When you go to the store, you buy that bag, and I know you don't use it all at one time. It spoils within 24 to 48 hours. No more salad. So with a living salad, all you do is pick the amount of leaves you're going to eat.
Yeah.
And they regenerate every day, every day, every day. So within the programming of the Melanin Day School Academy, we teach healthy eating, resiliency through grow your own, and health and nutrition through boost your immune system, eating more leafy green and green vegetables and variety of fruits. So we push this out as a fundraiser to not only engage families and getting them back to health, especially under COVID-19, but to also teach our children and build in our resiliency and to raise money to help support families make that journey to Cuba. And just one quick pin that came across my mind, and I know I shouldn't say this, but it was a great idea. We can say to people, have your family reunion with us in Cuba.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
We might get 250 people, but that's all right too. I'll figure it out. But let's tell people, have your family reunion with us in Cuba, please.
Yes.
Well, that's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you again.
Yeah, one more thing, Nakia. I remember the flags. I've been looking at my wall, and I was gonna send you a picture. Remember the lessons about the flag. So I did have a Cuba flag, and so I was trying to come up with some lessons for that too. That way we could start educating the kids and kind of getting Cuba on their brain. So I had some ideas.
Yes, and that is for everyone. We, at the Academy, for those that are, families that are Melanin Day School Academy families and others that are supporters of the families and others, that are extended families. This is a whole effort to learning. That's why on those Sundays when we're learning language, we're learning dance, and that's a part of our curriculum as well. And we have a lot of this work going into our end of the year gala and our Melanin Scholars Weekend, December 15th. We'll be having a field trip and potluck with the families all connecting. December 16th is going to be our performance, our gala, where we're showcasing a lot of the information that we've been learning, the dances, right? The music, the sings, all of that. You'll be able to just really be embraced and just circled and wrapped in all of the love and culture, followed up on December 17th with our jazz brunch, jazz and art brunch, where we will have a little bit of our salads, living salads available as well as a part of our fundraiser, wrapping right into the Kwanzaa Festival, December 29th with Shona's, the Sojourner Truth Museum. So this really is going to be a year-long effort of learning, not just going as tourists and saying, hey, I don't know the language or the people, but it was nice. No, we're going to be immersed in this history, in this culture. So again, I want to thank you all for coming out to our first kickoff for the 2024 Juneteenth celebration in Havana, Cuba, where we will continue to heal and thrive. If there's no other last minute comments, I would like to go ahead and close out our session for today.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate you, and we usher you with out with peace and love and prosperity.
Yes,
Thank
and
you all.
yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming. Sankofa 2020, perfect
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah, I had one more thing.
Wow.
Did you guys see at the end of the video, it was the elder, he said, that's Cali to Cuba. That is sticking in my head and what he said we bring to them. So I want everyone to re-look at that video when you get a chance. When he said that at the end, that really touched my heart and that's inspiring me. So I thought everyone should check that part out. It was the end of the video. The elder said, that's Cali to Cuba, but he was talking in general about what we bring to Cuba when we come. So if you could check that out for everyone, that was really inspiring for me.
All right. Very
and
good.
Mama Azia, really quick, you are going through the slides. I just want to give thanks to our planning team here, Queen Amina, right, who is part of the travel committee chair, urban gardener and agriculturalist, Sankofa 2020, Agri-Hood, sole proprietor, Agri-Hood farm and Agri-Hood farmers market work that's getting ready to happen out in Florida on first and third Saturday. So we're getting it in. Go to the next slide, Mama Azia. We got Mama Azia, right? She's also an amazing dance instructor, just awesome creativity flowing through her pores. She's a part of the travel committee co-chair as well, and an MDSA instructor. Get it, Mama Azia. Go on to the next slide. Woo woo. Thank you to Miguelito Leon, who will be our director out in Cuba of the Rumba Allstars. Amazing connection so far. We have some other videos too that we'll be sharing out to just gauge your interest and love as we go along. Next slide. These are the Rumba Allstars. You can check them out. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. You can see their content. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's empowering. You want to make sure that you connect. Next slide. Cali to Cuba. This is what Bernadette was talking about. This information is amazing. So as you're doing this, remember, we're learning, we're educating ourselves, continue to connect with it, continue to learn from it so we can continue to heal from it. And I think that is it. We'll have those package details out to you all via email. So keep an eye on it and we will see you all soon. Peace. We're out. We did it.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome.
Peace and blessings. Ashe.
Ashe.
Thank you. Ashe, yes. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Peace.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.